Let's go. Internet historian oddities. Like I said, I don't know what oddity means. I don't know what this means. I just assume it's like odd trinkets or something. Because it's about art, right? Fancy series is about art. Anyways.
Brought to you by NordVPN.
NordVPN. Yeah, it's a thing that's odd, exactly. Hi.
It's you.
Oh.
You've completed the crash course on theatre and wine.
I did.
Feeling smug, are we? Deserving of love, perhaps?
I do.
Worthy of eye contact.
Yeah.
That's cute. But there's still a lot more work to be done.
Huh?
Look here. These shoes are made from real Italian leather. This bag is made from the leather of real Italians.
That's insane. That's a skin. Isn't leather just skin? Huh? Are you gonna do more Uncle Roger video reactions? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. Cause I get copyright striked whenever I react to his content. Cause I think his agency protects his content like that. So I will be reacting to other channels like this one that doesn't copyright strike stuff. Hi, Bloop. Triggering raise praise king. No.
Not impressed? How about this fur coat? It's made from the wolf of Wall Street. An Xbox with the original PT demo still
Oh my
installed.
God! PT!
A signed first edition
The game
copy
you
of Moby
are.
Dick with its little-known sequel, Moby Ball. And last but
Moby
not
Nuts.
least, the squid from Squid Game.
That's insane.
Don't you get it? Oddities. Weird stuff. I mean, the first section's on perfume. Listen, I'm going to level with you. I kind of got distracted, and we went off topic. I don't even know what this is about anymore. Here's my Netflix stand-up special. It should explain everything.
Mama. Imagine you go in there and like, oh, there's too many devices logged in. Internet historian, please log out. Kicks them out.
That's going to be a hard act to follow. That Kramer guy has some very good one-liners. But I've got some jokes lined up.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Question. Why is perfume so expensive?
I've wondered about this myself because I like scents. Bro, like Tom Ford perfumes are like $400. I can't afford it for like a tiny ass bottle. I just assume it's because like it's artisan, like they've investigated all the chemicals, you know, they've gotten like expensive ass oils from some tree that only grows once a year.
Because you have to pay perfume. Why do they call it cologne? Have you ever smelt one of those? It ain't great. Hello? Mic must not be working. Deodorant? In this market? I'd want a deodor buy. Is this thing on? Okay, let me tell you the story of perfume. See, to be fancy, people wanted to stink good, but people naturally stink bad.
Except for you, except for me. I stink good, but with perfume, I stink better.
It's science.
No,
So
it's
in
not.
the beginning, people went to the garden to find the best-smelling things that they could. Here's a photo of the oldest perfume bottles ever found. And what's inside?
Ugly as fuck.
Just garden stuff that smells nice.
Coriander. You want to smell like coriander? I like coriander, but I do not want to smell like it. Also, like part of the reason why you want to buy perfume sometimes is because the bottles are so pretty. It's so pretty. Those were. They would do the trick. They would do the trick for their times.
But we did not just stop at that, because the story of perfume is the story of progress. By the time Cleopatra came around, perfume science had really advanced. You see, Cleopatra loved perfume. In fact, it was said that she had a...
Oh, let me pause. Hi.
Speaking of smells,
Yes?
Ray, this is your weekly reminder to shower.
I was gonna take a bath after the stream, okay? Jesus, chill. I have an early stream today. I have plenty of time to. The bath. I'll be fine.
Is it a crime?
Oh my
to be
god.
stinking? I would argue. Oh.
Connor, dog, get a fuck
However,
out of here.
please consider seeking the assistance of the closest shower. Thank you.
Connor, I've seen you play Euro truck driver with like 3.0 alcohol, blood alcohol counts, all right? I've seen you scream, slowly damage you whenever you crash your truck. Get out of here. You can't judge me.
Whole perfume factory. The old factory. But this factory
Wait, we missed a joke. Guys, hush. There's someone on stage. That is so rude of you for snoring.
By the time Cleopatra came around, perfume science had really advanced. You see, Cleopatra loved perfume. In fact, it was said that she had a whole perfume factory. The olfactory, I believe they called it. But this
I'm so sorry for rewinding and wasting 20 seconds of your life. Oh, Shambra, these jokes, rough.
factory wasn't just mashing flowers. They were using emulsifiers, adding resins, creating tinctures.
Tinctures?
Cleopatra's very own Chanel No. 1 contained cardamom, cinnamon, olive oil, and myrrh. So we've gone from garden...
Interesting. Cinnamon and myrrh, which is tree. So she liked the woody, warm, spicy scents. Very fitting for her image.
to pantry.
Pantry?
And she loved spritzing the stuff everywhere, supposedly even spraying it all over the sails of her ship. That way people could smell her from miles off as she sailed the Nile.
Hi, Cranctus. Thank you for the follow. I
By
feel
the
like
early
people...
Middle Ages, we had figured out the formula for perfume. Effectively, there are three main components: water, alcohol, and the most important bit, the aromatic oils.
So, Tom Ford's $400 cup bottles. For example, Tobacco Vanille is one of their best-selling unisex colognes. I think it's at least 300 Canadian. I can't remember for a full bottle. So 70% of that is alcohol? Oh. It's 300 or 400. Someone Google it. It's very expensive. It's just chemicals. No, don't say that. Don't say that. It'll make me smell like Cleopatra.
And by the way, perfume and cologne are actually the same thing, but in different ratios of these ingredients. By the 1600s, they were trying all sorts of different things. Some things went well. Dude, pine. What about orange? I call it new car smell. But once global trade opened up, our taste became more exotic. Out of the pantry and into the petting zoo. For you see, it turns out that animals have been hoarding all of the most bestest perfume smells.
Yes, tell me more.
In the olden days, a bunch of manly men would brave very rough seas in order to pull aboard sperm whales. Now, they would cut open the digestive tract and pluck out a secretion of bile called ambergris, or in English, grey amber. Sometimes they would harvest the rest of the whale, but eventually, ambergris became so valuable
$27 a gram? What the?
that it was simply more economical to dump the carcass back in the ocean.
No, that is such a waste. No, bro. You do not kill whales just to get the digestive tracts. Ugh. Yikes.
Collect the next batch.
No.
Like when you kill a racehorse for its prize-winning jizz and then just leave it there on the tracks.
What? Is that what they what?
All right, quick
Wait, explain
science
that.
lesson, eggheads. Ambergris comes from the gross part of the whale. And when the whale eats something quite sharp, let's say human bones, the ambergris forms around them and protects the lining of the gut.
Oh, okay.
That's the ambergris role.
It's
That
a
way,
biofilm, okay.
As the sharp thing continues down the intestines, the whale doesn't get poked. But if ambergris comes from a whale's digestive tract, what does it smell like? Surely not good. When it's dry, it smells kind of woody and earthy. But when it's wet, it smells like ass.
When it cures, so it's basically poop, but when it cures in salt water, it eventually develops a more pleasant smell. So we should be curing our poops. Is that what we're learning here? Ew. 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 Which part of me smells good? Everywhere. Head to toe. Smells beautiful. Ew. Imagine paying $400 for like salted human poop. Yikes.
But it's not actually the smell that's the useful function. Ambergris is a fixative. So what it does is heighten and bring out the scent of other things.
Oh, okay.
These flowers, they smell all right, but add some ambergris and
boom!
Ah, that's the one. Now, once they figured this out, they realized, oh, there's a whole bunch of things we can use a fixative for. And they got quite gross with it. They added it to food. In fact, it was said that King Charles...
They added this to food? Todd, I don't know if I can do this. All right, look, I know sometimes I like to talk about poop as like a funny subject, but bruh, I would not go this far. I will not go this far. Oh, just cook better. If you want fragrance, just cook better.
His favorite dish was ambergris on eggs. But they didn't stop there. They added it to rum. They added it to coffee. They added it to cigarettes and smoked it. And they used it as an aphrodisiac. Now, so...
Hey, honey. Oh, you're not in the mood tonight? Here, sniff this fossilized whale poop. Oh, yeah. You're in the mood now, huh? That does the trick, huh? Yikes, dude.
Some people will say that the whale is a mammal. But that's not strictly true. It is, in fact, a fish. Just look at the tail. And
Stop interrupting. I gotta take out all these separate clips so people who watch this on YouTube doesn't get pissed that I keep pausing the video. Ay, ay, ay. Hi, Moon. Thank you for all the beauties, guys. Twitch sub's not working. Uh-oh. We had 3 this today. Should be okay. What? Did you ever hear about the people that did it in the mouth of the only tax... Get them out of here. Get them out of here.
Nice.
No, not nice. Not nice. Not nice. Get out of get them out of here. Jesus. How dare you?
Nice.
Freaks.
Nice.
Shut the fuck up. How dare you dirty the body of a precious whale who sacrificed. Makes me angry. Where's the whale harpoon? Give it to me. Let me aim it at these 2 people. Ish. For legal reasons, that is a joke.
You may have also heard that there are a lot fewer of them these days, which, although a relief because their absence helps offset the sea level change, climate, whatever, we were worried that we might run out. So we said no more hunting whales for ambergris. But did that stop the perfumers? No. They immediately asked, hey, do you think there are any other animals that smell kind of weird?
No!
Yes. Turns out the musk deer has some potential. Now, we hunt the male musk deer specifically because it has a particular gland called a musk pod.
Deer requested we mention not to scale. Of course, out of consideration for deer's pride and ego. Oh wait, hold on, musk pod. Hold on, but I've actually never questioned this because I like musk. I like musk. Chad, I like musk in men's cologne. You're telling me that this whole time I've been inhaling deer nuts? I don't even know what kind of expression's appropriate. It's probably this one. I liked musk. Oh. Oh.
Which, when dried out, looks like this.
Oh.
And it uses it to mark its territory and attract mates. Now, don't worry.
Yeah,
Unlike
like me.
ambergris, this doesn't smell like ass.
Oh.
Instead, it smells like ammonia and piss.
What?
And you just can't get a smell like that at home. So we started hunting them to the point where they were a protected species. So the authorities said, you have to find a different animal. So from there, they moved on to hyrax feces. One of the most feared and dangerous animals in all of Africa. And it was the inspiration for the
ASMR.
original Lynx Africa smell. Now, their feces, when dried, is called hyracium, or Africa stone. But it's not just these ones, they have other stones in Africa. Come on, guys. Now, the smell is fairly similar to deer musk, but unlike the deer, the hyrax doesn't need to be killed or disturbed for their feces.
Yeah, thank
They're
God.
just giving it away. In fact, hyrax even have a communal toilet, which is used for generations, which makes it very easy to collect up all the good stuff.
Oh my gosh, why didn't we discover this sooner? It's our free real estate. Man, I can't believe they're giving away all this precious, expensive stuff for free. Pfft.
Just the hyrax, I've got other animals. Remember those civets from the virus videos?
What?
Wait, don't wash that thing's anus. Mom, get the bottle, get the bottle. Turns out it's the anal gland of the civet that's actually the important smelling bit.
You can't see this right now, but I'm like pinching my nose. Like, why is it always from the butt? Do we not make sense from any part of our human bodies, like animal bodies? Like, what about armpits? Like, oh, blah.
Who's figuring this out?
What
Why don't we use the
about
good parts
feet?
of the animal? It's the bacon part of the pig, you know? Anyway, it's the ass that produces all the delicious musk.
No. Oh.
Smells like shit.
Right, but it must be good for something because it goes for $4,000 a kilo.
Oh my God.
But we ain't done yet.
Oh,
you know
no.
when you've just killed a beaver and you cut open its ripe abdomen? Well, the reason it smells so good is because of a little gland called the castor sac.
You leave our
which makes
beavers
a yellowy
alone.
scum-like substance called castoreum. And it is used to waterproof the beaver's fur coat and also mark its territory. It is also very fragrant. And you know what that means. If it smells, it sells. And in this case, castoreum is more kind of leathery, with smoky hints of vanilla. But unfortunately today, you're not allowed to harvest the beaver.
Leave our
They're walking
beavers
around
alone.
very smugly, just like the other protected animals. But you know what? We don't need them, because we have a synthetic version of castoreum now, and it's just as good. And you know what? We've got a synthetic for the whale, the deer, and the civet now. And they're used in lots of mainstream perfumes. Modern day, we've got a synthetic version of practically everything.
Interesting.
And even better, the advancement of synthetics has opened up a huge range of smells that were never possible to distill or capture before. And the result is some very silly perfumes. You know that bacon bit of the pig? We got that now.
Oh, yeah.
Index smelling. Pretty much anything you can think of, really. Someone has created a fragrance of it.
It's so
In
weird.
some instances, we're even beating nature.
Imagine wanting to smell like Burger King. Burger King employees who flip burgers for 10 hours a day be in shambles. I swear, they got that shit for free. And they got paid for it. Hi, Unlimited. Thank you for the follow. Hi. Oh, Drill, you know a lot about this chemical stuff. Oh. I want to smell like a Big Mac. Yeah, how to attract ladies. Men of Twitch, please do tell, what is the most attractive fast food sent to you?
Herself. For example, you know those roses that you get at the florist? And then people go, these smell beautiful.
Yeah, we just had
But actually,
Valentine's.
those roses are not bred to smell good.
Oh.
They're so specialized for good looks, longevity, and disease resistance that they've practically altogether lost their smell. So often what the florist will do is add an additional scent to
What?
the flower post-picking. And typically a synthetic rose perfume is used because it lasts longer and doesn't dry.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Every time I watch Internet Historian, my perception of what I'm paying for as a consumer just gets shattered. Yeah, when I pick flowers, and I buy flowers very often, like I said, I usually get flowers twice a month for myself just to keep in my room. I pick the ones that smell good. What do you mean it's all fake? What do you mean?
Out the flower.
My heart.
Yep, we're just that good. And what's the future for perfumes? Well, I don't know. But what I do know is it's going to involve some comedy gold.
I thought he was going to say...
Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. My wife asked me for Chanel No. 5, and I was like, not right now. I'm watching the football. You know, on the television. You know what? I am gonna say it. If it's good enough for Kramer, it's good enough for me.
What?
Ad time. This Christmas, she works in the big city.
Oh.
Busy professional. My career, this and that.
But she's going home for Christmas.
Ray buying her flower because no one else would. No, Twitch chat would. Twitch chat got me 2 flowers. Let's go.
Oh my god, are you okay?
I am now.
Where's the nugget smell? What sauce do you want on that smell, though?
The most VPNist time of year with
Buffalo sauce smell? Buffalo chicken nugget smell? Oh my god. Wait. Chick-fil-A nugget smell. Wait. Let me cook. Chick-fil-A nugget plus waffle fry smell. In-N-Out animal style burger smell. Wait. Okay, hold on. What else?
And I can't believe that big city company you work for works with him.
Come on.
Five Guys smell. Five Guys smell. Five Guys. Hear me out. Five Guys smell. Smell like Five Guys. Get Five Guys. Let's go.
He's so cute. I'm a city girl.
Girl, you sound like you're in love.
I thought I knew what Nordmus meant, but it means nothing.
What happened? We were
without
talking
you.
about
It's like
nugget
the
smells.
end of March.
It's always Nordmus time of year with Nord's huge discount on a 2-year plan. Use the URL, nordvpn.com/internet story for a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's the best VPN in town.
Now I love small town. And I'm in love with Nordman. But I can't leave behind big city Korea.
True love and a really good VPN don't come around too much. You gotta take a chance.
Boss, I don't care about making partner at the firm anymore. I've found my new home.
Yeah,
Good
I've always
public
found
Wi-Fi.
those Christmas movies to be so strange. Like, oh, you're just gonna give up everything you spent like the first 30 years of your life building up towards? Oh, okay.
Is spreading across the city. Nordmus will be ruined.
If you get Freddy's smell, like Five Nights at Freddy's?
How are we gonna stop him, Nordman?
With this Nord-themed brick.
Oh my god, imagine if that... Imagine it becomes like a class distinction. Oh, she smells like Chick-fil-A. Oh, he smells like McDonald's. I don't want to be associated and seen with a man who smells like McDonald's fries.
4 bonus Nordmus months.
Or like I would smell like IKEA buffet, you know, IKEA meatballs. Oh my god. What if someone smells like homemade chicken nuggets? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You know, that ad makes me think about the time I nearly had a wife.
He has a balding spot
Feels
on the
like
back
a
of his head.
lifetime
Sorry if that was
I was in Japan.
that was news you didn't
living
want to
the
hear.
digital nomad lifestyle. I had a startup selling seashells down by the seashore.
Aw.
But I broke the one rule of being a digital nomad.
You touched a phone.
I got mad.
No.
Digitally. And that's when I saw her. It was love at first sight.
I want to know if she has a bald spot on her back.
I remember her laugh,
Oh, her hair changes.
touch. Every morning, breakfast in bed.
Chad, this is not real
But the
breakfast.
truth was, I had no money. We couldn't live on love alone. So I left. I sought
Is the volume gone or is it just me, guys? Oh.
And I bet.
Oh, copyright. Oh, no.
The truth was, I had no money.
Oh, I see.
We couldn't live on love alone. So I left.
So I left to start my own empire of selling seashells, and that is how sharp fencing pencils, dark side whistle. I was pitching all sorts of ideas, but I was met with rejection after rejection.
And I bet you're wondering how I finally struck it rich.
Yes.
Well, truth is, I'm the guy who invented the Joe Rogan podcast.
Shut the fuck up. What the
Once I
hell?
became a gajillionaire, I went back to that beach to try and find her. But instead, I hit her with my boat. We never found her body. But she had a
Average Joe
secret.
Rogan
One
experience.
she took to her grave that I was sworn not to tell. She's not around, so...
It's okay.
Dude, she was a mermaid!
Oh.
Come on, champ, we're going to Japan. And here's where it all begins. In the year 2022. It's a Tuesday, probably. And local folklore researcher
He's bald
Hiroshi
too.
Kinoshita is looking up some fantastical animals
Oh
in
my
the
god,
national...
damn, that page, that one right there,
Kinoshita is looking up some fantastical...
that one right there, Jackaroo, come get it.
animals in the National Yokai Dictionary.
Hi, Karu.
It's like the
How are
bestiary
you?
from Witcher, right? And he comes across a photo negative of a mermaid mummy. Oh my god.
Isn't
he
it
says
just like a
in
manatee?
Japanese. Upon seeing the mermaid, he knows that he must track it down. He must form a team. Researchers, assemble. So he gets together the best damn crew that he can from the University of Science and Arts at the Okayama Prefecture. And he plans to track down the mermaid mummy, wherever it has escaped to. Now, it doesn't take him long to figure out that it's being held at the Inuin Temple in Asakuchi.
It's just a manatee,
You know the
right?
one.
Hi,
So he
Karu. Thank you
struts
for the
up to
follow.
sacred
Thank
building.
you.
And there at the back of the temple is a fireproof safe. And inside of that is an old wooden box. And inside the old wooden box was the mermaid.
It used to be on display, but put away in this box for the last 40 years to prevent it from deteriorating. It's funny they put it in a wooden box and then put that wooden box in a fireproof case. Oh gosh.
We found it. We found a real one. But where did it come from? Well, alongside the mermaid was a note that dated back from 1903, and it said, "A dried human fish, aka Ningyo, was caught almost 300 years ago over in the seas of Tosa. It was then dried out and taken to Osaka. And from there, it was passed around to many different people until it arrived at the temple." Now, the Ningyo have an important history in Japan, and sightings of these half-fish, half-human creatures have cropped up all across the country. Kinoshita himself had personally tracked down 13 of them all across Japan, usually
Wait, are those real fossils or?
kept in museums and temples.
Oh my god. Wait, so do you guys believe in mermaids? Do y'all believe like there's like a deep ocean and like, you know, we haven't really discovered a lot of the mythical creatures because they're like super deep, Atlantis stuff?
However, what you
No?
might not know is that traditionally they have been associated with bad omens.
Yeah, it looks like a bad omen.
And everyone knows the infamous tale of Yao Bikuni.
Yes, I know that one. Sat, do you know that one? Very famous. Your mama should have told it to you as a child. Fish fear me. Yeah, not women.
But I'll recite it to you just in case.
Ah, thank you.
So the story is that one day, a poor fisherman catches the biggest fish of his life. It was a strange-looking fish, and its head
With
was almost
boobs.
human-like.
With boobs.
But he brought the fish home and invited all of his friends and family to come over for a feast to celebrate his largest catch. You know, he's got his arms stretched out like this. He's like, it was this big. No, it was this big. I swear, it was this big. During dinner, one of the guests sneaks into the kitchen to see just how big it was. This big? I can't believe it. and he discovers that it is actually a niño. Oh no, he says in perfect Japanese. Now he quickly warns the other
Yabai.
guests, don't eat it.
Yabai.
And he wants them just in time. Teishi, they've got their fork like right up to their mouth. Teishi eating that. Teishi, don't do it. They throw all their food away.
Yamero!
Let's just have some rice and drink the night away. Okay, so they do. And they have a lovely evening. However, one very dishonorable guest decided to sneak a bit of the meat out of the trash and put it in his pocket. He then goes home drunk and falls asleep. He didn't eat it. But when he woke up the next morning, he checks his pockets and... no! The delicious fish piece is gone. Turns out, in the night, his daughter had been rummaging around in his pockets looking for treasure, and
Which daughter goes to her dad's bedroom at 2 a.m. and searches his body for snacks? What's that? What? Is this like a normal daughter-father relationship thing? Because I didn't have that. Damn, I was looking for snacks at the wrong place. Sheesh. This is a suspect search, madam. What the hell?
she found the meat from his pocket. And she was such a greedy guts that she decided to eat it.
It was raw! It was fucking raw, lady! Oh.
And there. The father was terrified for his daughter. But she didn't seem to be sick. Do you feel weird at all? And shaking her. He decided not to tell her anything.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it'll all be okay.
Oh no, it's
However,
not.
From that day forward, the daughter never aged. That's right. She remained a young adult forever.
Wait, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Wait, give me that fist right now.
She eventually went on to marry. But as her husband got older, she stayed the same age. Eventually her father got old and died. And soon enough did her husband too. Everyone she ever knew was getting older and dying, but she remained the same age. She was immortal. Eventually, at age 120, she decided to shave her head and become a Japanese nun. She traveled the country, planting trees as she went, and she did this for 800 years.
Oh.
But eventually, she grew tired. You know what? I'm tired of living. She entered a cave in her hometown of Obama. And she was determined to never come out again. She begged and prayed for the curse to end, but it never.
Yalbi Nikuni means 800-year-old nun, but often 800 is used as a number that figuratively means at infinity. The fabled Obama village. What the hell? I can't believe Obama was around in Japan back then, man. It's a good thing. I mean, she's immortal. Isn't that good? I want to be immortal.
Did.
I want to be forever
She
young.
sat in that cave for so long that she turned to stone.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And today, at the Kuinji Temple in Obama,
In Obama.
remains the cave that Yao Bakuni entered. People have been into that cave to check whether she's still in there, but nothing was found. However, a stone statue of her resides at the
That's the one. That's her.
and colloquially, it is called the Barack Obama. So we're back with Hiroshi. He asked the Inuan temple if he could borrow the Nino. Look, let me do a little CT scan on it, right? And they agreed. Hiroshi hands the Nino to a team
What
of
an
scientists. and
agreeable
they get to
monk.
work. They do their
They
tests.
just give up their
Beep, beep,
treasure.
boop. Control plus scan on the keyboard, and here are the results.
Uh-oh.
It's stage 4 cancer.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No, but really, turns out the Nino dates back to the 1800s. The note that said it was from the 1700s was wrong. Its body is made from cloth and cotton, wrapped in pufferfish skin. The tail
It's a
was
mummy?
made from a croaker. I don't know what that is. Can we show that on the screen?
It's
With
a
the
mummy?
mouth of a different fish and the hair of a mammal. And they can see that there's a metal nail in its back.
Whoa.
Oh my god, it's invented tools. The forensic analysis and the construction materials in its back did cast some doubt over its authenticity. But you gotta believe in something, damn it.
What if it's like some elementary school kids' school project like 200 years ago? And then they just released it back into the ocean and they died naturally.
As promised, the Nino was returned to the N Temple, where it still lives today.
Huh.
But where, oh where, did my mermaid go? It's her! You're back! You know what, I kind of missed you. And what the hell is
Is that a baby? No! Walk away, man.
You know what? I never did find her again. I think
Hit him
these things
again.
are a bit-
Holy. Anyway, perfume.
We're here on the ancient streets of Cairo, and there is our destination. In these triangles, the greatest luxury that all the elites crave.
Gold?
No, not that.
What?
The second most thing that mummies. You can find them in these tombs, and
What was
there's
the
only
most-
ever like one dude guarding them. But before we take, we must understand. Mummification started over 5,000 years ago, and they were first discovered by the Europeans in the
I thought we were talking about perfumes. How did we start talking about like mythical mummified creatures?
15th century. But the legend goes the locals knew about them even earlier than that. It's an elaborate process, but essentially you're drying the person out, turning them into a human salami.
Okay, as a child, mummies terrified me so much. Like I didn't live anywhere near these pyramids, but damn, just the notion of like mummies that are coming back to life to haunt you, that terrified me. That was my boogeyman.
When the Europeans found all these mummies,
Oddities.
what do you think they did? Put it in a museum, right? Wrong. They used these mothers for everything, and everybody wanted them. What do you mean they used them for everything? Well, fancy people would take whole mummies and show them off to their friends at fancy dinners. To really show off the owner's wealth, they would sometimes unwrap them too. They were used
Ew.
as paint. They call this mummy brown, by the way. They were used as fertilizer.
Oh man, talk about supercharging your soil.
They were even consumed.
Don't mind if I do.
Who was it that was saying mummies are tasty? Who was it? Raise your hand right now. You disgust me. You disgust me.
No, not like this.
Oh.
By grinding them up into powder and taking them like a herbal supplement. Which they
Why? Y'all nasty, bro. Y'all nasty.
mumia.
Garrus,
But with
no.
such high
Garrus,
demand
no.
for your mom. After a while, they began to run out of stock. Uh-oh. They were becoming
You know, if you need more mummy tasting style, you just gotta make more. Just gotta make more. You just gotta make more. Somewhere out there on the black market, this is probably a delicacy. That is nasty. Yikes. Ay. Hi, Gunnar. I'm a god king and will revive later after death. I know, that's so sad. Bitch, you thought. Expectation versus reality.
rarer and rarer to find. They were being gobbled off the face of the earth.
Oh my lord.
So the authorities passed a bunch of laws to protect mummies
No more
from
eating
becoming
mummies.
altogether extinct. These are the last two of their species, and they're both male, but they won't mate. No. But the mummy is much like the Tasmanian tiger. Every once in a while, one will just kinda show up and prove that they're not altogether extinct.
Open the door.
The year
What?
2013. The location
Mommy yelling, get
Stifels
out.
in northwest Germany. We are at the Kettler household, owned by grandfather Kettler, who is now dead. But he had a son, Lutz Kettler, And Lutz Kettler also had a son, Alexander Kettler, and they are both there at the house. After a rainy day, there was a leak in the roof. So 10-year-old Kettler gets up into the attic to explore. You know, have a bit of a look around. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Old antiques, photographs.
I never had an attic
some
growing
old
up.
roof tiles. Those will be useful. So he goes over to the roof
Oh,
tiles.
you did?
and
That's oh wow.
behind them is something strange. A box. A mystery box. Now the kid is smart and he's seen Jumanji, so he knows not to touch the box and instead go tell his dad. Now the dad drags the box into the center of the room. And he opens it. And inside, a smaller box. But it's very curious because it is covered in hieroglyphs. So Lutz crosses his fingers, hoping nothing supernatural will happen. And he opens the inner box. Inside is a mummy. Oh my god. But there's more. There's also 2 smaller boxes. One contained a death mask, and the other a canopic jar.
Death masks are typically made in the likeliness of the person mummified to protect the soul of the person. Canopic jars are used to hold the organs of the deceased, which were removed during the mummification process. The jars were buried with the body so that the deceased could take them to the afterlife. Oh my god. The curse! The curse! Oh my god, I live in the attic. They found you? I'm so sorry they disturbed your sleep. I wonder what it tastes like.
Alright, so he might have a dead body in the house now. So naturally, he calls the authorities.
Oh no.
The police show up
The
and
real
ask some
estate costs will
questions.
go down because
Lutz
of his
then
body.
explains a little bit of backstory. He remembers that in the 1950s, his father went to Derna in Libya. There, he acquired a chest and had it shipped back home.
Okay.
He remembers a conversation about it, but grandfather Kettler insisted that it was a replica. Das ist ein Replika, son. Not a real mummified person. Now, at this point, the police did not think it was a real body, but it was worth getting it scanned just in case. So he loaded it up in his station wagon, and off he went to the Berlin Archaeological Institute.
So far.
Now, they agreed to do a scan, and so they're fiddling with buttons and dials and stuff, and it's fake, right? It's fake? Well, here's where things get a little more dramatic. Results inconclusive.
Oh.
There is a fully formed skeleton here. Now, that is unusual for a fake. Often a fake will just be shaped like a person, then filled with sticks and cloth and rubbish. However, it got even stranger. They found that all of the bones were wrapped in some sort of metal plating or foil.
Aluminium.
Next, they looked at the skull, and that's where things were the most odd. It was very realistic. Its teeth had roots. Its form was more intricate than the typical fake. It also had a laurel, but even...
You thinking what I'm thinking, Seth? You thinking what I'm thinking for this detailed body to be obtained back in the days?
More notably, there was an arrowhead lodged in the eye socket.
Oh no.
Now that is very unusual for a fake. Hold on, I got more evidence to do. So they're doing more tests and stuff. All right, we've carbon tested the linen wraps. What's the verdict? Well, those are from the 1900s. Now the plot is thickening. We have a supposed fake mummy, but with a very realistic skull, perhaps murdered by an arrow to the head and bandages that date to the modern day.
It was a homicide. And they mummified it to hide the evidence. Wait, actually, legally, would that work? It doesn't mummify that quickly, right? You can't just be like, oh, this? Oh, well, that's not the person you're looking for. That's just a mummy that my grandmother found. Why is it still wet? I got water on it. I guess it doesn't really work. Oh my god, yeah, Dad murdered a dude. Yeah, maybe. Holy, did you guys hear? This reminds me, did you guys hear they found the identity of Jack the Ripper? Yes, the Jack the Ripper from the infamous cold case of London because some guy tested a scarf that was found on one of his last victims and found a hair that was like belonging to one of the lead suspects, I think. That's crazy. Damn, we got the identity of Jack the Ripper before we got GTA 6. That's insane.
That presents a new problem because it's not unheard of for people to do a murder in the modern day and then cover things up by disguising the body as an ancient artifact.
Chad, you're right. The grandpa was a fucking murderer.
For example, in the year 2000, there was a man who claimed he found the mummy of an ancient Persian princess, the daughter of Xerxes. However, when they examined the body, they found it was, in fact, a potential murder victim from 1996 who died from bludgeoning. All right, so the police now actually have to get involved, and it's about to get even more complicated. So they confiscate the body, and they do their own tests, and the results this time say, nope, this thing is 2,000 years old. It's not fake at all. It's ancient. What? So eventually the experts all get together and go, okay, this is dumb. Let's take it to Eppendorf University and have it properly tested.
Yeah, they found 100 more buried in the walls. Grandpa was just collecting mummies, all right? He wasn't up to no good. He just liked their smell.
And not just tested, crack the thing open like a delicious Kinder Surprise.
Ew.
So this new set of experts gets to work. And when they open up the mummy... All right, remember how we said that the bones were covered in a special type of foil or metal plating?
Aluminium.
Well, it turns out the scientists didn't quite get that right. Instead, the bones were sprayed with a metallic chemical that prevented X-rays from going through. The bones were made from plastic.
I was gonna say time traveler. They didn't fucking have plastics back then in this shape. I banged the desk so hard that my phone fell over. Do they have 2,000 years old? Oh no, wait, hold on. When did they get plastic? When did we invent plastic?
Or at least, the body was.
Huh?
Turns out, the skull is real.
What?
Yes, a real skull, and not from an ancient mummy, but from a 20th century man. However, it was not a murder.
What?
This skull is from a cadaver, and it was medically prepared for educational purposes. And what about that arrowhead? Well, it turns out that that's from a children's toy.
What?
Someone just popped that in the eye socket as a joke. So finally, the mystery was solved. It's just a plastic skeleton with a real dead guy's head on it. Wait, how does that solve the mystery?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Lutz was satisfied that the whole thing was fake and not a murder victim. Oh, let's put that back in the attic.
I don't know, Ty. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Something smells fishy and it's not the mummy. And it's not meat either. God damn it.
Said very Germanly. But then, eine Bitte? Was ist das? He says.
What?
Another box? The Book of the Dead? Well, that sounds like a fun read. So Lutz starts reading the ancient Egyptian
Oh my god,
alphabet.
he comes back to life.
Anaxunamun,
Oh my god.
Imhotep,
Oh my no.
Brendan Fraser. And what happened next will shock you and make for a very
Okay, that kind of got me.
good thumbnail.
Thank you for the thumbnail. Thank you for the clickbait title.
Hey there, champ. You're probably wondering why I'm out here on this park bench. Sometimes
No, I wasn't.
I just come to see the autumn leaves.
Where's your wife,
Winter
the mermaid?
will be here soon. Dust in the wind.
That is Canadian's national leaf, I'll have you know. Do not crush it with your hand disrespectfully like that, you... Is he American? New Zealand. New Zealand? You earthling? Eesh.
Truth is,
Your
sport,
breath smells.
I have a highly contagious respiratory disease.
So why did you blow the freaking old man. I can't with boomers. I cannot with boomers.
I won't be around much longer.
Yeah, me neither.
Dust in the wind.
Bro!
I'm like Willy Wonka from that
God.
movie.
Smells so bad.
And you're like that ugly kid from the Willy Wonka movie who gets all his stuff. Or the Oompa Loompa. I don't know. I haven't seen it. The point is you're so close to being fancy. I can feel it.
I'm already fancy.
There's just one lesson left to learn.
What? Tell me.
Anyway, speaking of ancient Egypt, here's this ancient Egyptian
Wait,
gun.
go back.
Franz Ferdinand, what are you doing here? Of course, he's not the real Franz Ferdinand. He's a mummy. Now, the thing about the ancient Egyptian gun is that it's very sensitive. Uh-oh.
And that's how for World War II started. Or World War I started.
Come on, Mr. Ferdinand. We gotta clean this up before the Park Services Commission hears about this, and they make another complaint. Right, we're almost done with the series, and then it's back to the usual
Oh my god,
content.
POV. You're a rake. POV.
So in case you missed it, there's also Drinking on Incognito, a new story mode out next week. And if you like fancy, that's great. But if you don't like fancy, don't worry, it's not forever.
Sir, it's been 10 months since your last upload. Where is the next lesson? Please, I need to know. What's this last one? So, what do you think the last one is? We've gotten drinks, we've gotten arts, we've gotten theater, and now we've gotten oddities. What is the last thing that'll make you a fancy nobo? How would we graduate from poor peasant to royalty? Attire.